this is a complicated history to unravel. So tell us about, that big, when you picked up the camera after you and Frank spoke, and how you began to immerse yourself in this story.
Yeah, so I met Oscar, Scott Greathead, Frank's high school buddy, and Freddie Petrelli, all at 6 a.m. at the Standard downtown, which is a very weird hotel for these guys to all be staying at. and got in the car, and we drove out to Riverside, and I spent the day with them. I sat in the courtroom with them. I listened to Oscar read his prepared statement to this courtroom, to this judge who, it was the sentencing phase. The Sosa, one of these soldiers, had already been found guilty. And Oscar was really there to try to make sure that the judge gave the highest penalty possible, which was 10 years, which is what Sosa ended up getting. And I mean, this was a day like no other day I'd ever experienced. And I came home to my wife that night, and I did a bit of filming. I had the camera with me, so I filmed before and after. And I said to Kim, my wife, and I said, I think I've just filmed the end to the most fascinating story I've ever heard. Like, literally, this is the end. Here is this character who is the subject of this decades-long search to find this needle in a haystack, this child, now a man, in the suburbs of Boston, of all places, now participating in the very justice system that helped find him and reveal this truth to him. And I'm like, I think I'm going to have to go to Guatemala, which was honestly probably the most foreign thing I could say to my wife as somebody who's never been to Central America, much less somebody who doesn't speak Spanish. But I just knew that this was a story that needed to be told, and one I really wanted to figure out how to tell. And I think to the second part of your question, it's an incredibly complex historical tale, and one that was all new to me. I didn't know that any of this happened. I knew that our country was involved in quite a few conflicts in Central and South America in the 70s and 80s, but I'd be hard-pressed to really point out to you where Guatemala was in Central America, much less the dynamics of what had taken place there. So I received an incredible education in making this film, and we really wanted to use Oscar's story as a way to tell a variation of that education, assuming that there are many North Americans like myself who are probably unaware that this happened in our lifetime, that a genocide happened in the Americas in our lifetime, and one that our government was very much involved in supporting, be it directly or indirectly. And so, that was really the beginning of telling this film and filming the end of the film. But it was a few years to figure out how to do it.